So the Bank of Canada decided to keep interest rates steady in January. But how did that impact Toronto's real estate market? Did things get better or worse? Find out right here, right now. Considering 2023 was a bit of a gong show for real estate, filled with so many ups and downs and unknowns, it's no wonder 2024 was welcomed with open arms. We all hoped that a new start would breathe life and stability into our turbulent market. And for those of you with high hopes for 2024, well, we can all breathe a sigh of relief because it looks like we're off to a good start. Or are we? Well, the media says we are, but let's dive into the numbers and decide for ourselves. We'll start with the average price of a home in the city of Toronto. The Toronto Regional Real Estate Board reported that the average price in January fell below $1 million for the first time since January 2023, dipping to $959,915. This is a decrease of 9.7% month over month, and a decrease of 2.8% year over year. And compared to 2022, it's a decrease of 10.5%. So despite all the media hype around the real estate market bouncing back, the truth is, the average price fell considerably. But don't get too discouraged at this point because we still have a ways to go in this report. And it's very common that we see a dip in the average price in the month of January. Let's move on because here's where things get a bit better. There were 3,456 new listings last month, an increase of 127.8% month over month, and an increase of 14.8% year over year. It also increased 11.1% compared to 2022. Now let's look at how many homes were sold. Toronto saw 1,472 homes sold in January, an increase of 16.3% month over month, and a 32.9% increase year over year. Yes, these are impressive numbers until we compare it to 2022, which saw a dip of 34.5%. But let's take this with a grain of salt because let's not forget, Q1 of 2022 was an exception. We were hitting record high peaks in the first quarter, and this anomaly will be reflected throughout the rest of this video when we compare figures to January of 2022. Now we'll drill down into different housing types and look at how each segment performed. Let's start with detached homes, where Toronto's average price in January was recorded at $1,570,520. This is down 3.5% from last month, but up 5.7% from January of last year. But compared to 2022, it's down 16.7%. There were 342 detached homes sold in January, down 7.8% month over month, but it's up 7.5% year over year. Compared to 2022, it's down 28.2%. Now we'll look at semi-detached homes, where the average price in January was just shy of $1.2 million. This is up 2.2% from December and up 4.3% year over year, but it decreased 18.5% compared to 2022. There were 106 semi-detached homes sold last month, down 17.2% month over month and up 26.2% year over year, but it's down 26.4% when compared to January 2022. Now let's look at how townhomes performed. But before we do, are you new to this channel? If so, and this is your first time here, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. If you want to know all there is to know about living in Toronto, including real estate plus all the great stuff to do in the city, then subscribe and tap that bell so you can be the first to know about everything Toronto. Okay, moving on. The average price of townhomes in Toronto fell drastically in the month of January, hovering just over $895,000. This is a decrease of 18.7% month over month and a decrease of 8.8% year over year. It's also down 17.1% compared to 2022. There were 131 townhomes sold last month, up 17% month over month and up 42.4% year over year, but it's down 35.5% from January of 2022. Lastly, we'll look at condos, where the average price in Toronto remained somewhat steady after its slump last month. The average hit $709,419, increasing 0.02% month over month and decreasing 0.2% year over year. It's also down 6.7% compared to January 2022. There were 883 condos sold last month, an increase of 37.8% month over month and 46.2% year over year, but it dropped 37.3% compared to 2022. So when you dig deep into the numbers, January was really a mixed bag of good news and bad news. But overall, January gets a passing grade with both new listings and number of homes sold performing really well. So what should we expect for the rest of the year? Will it mirror January's performance, or will it be a copy-paste of 2023's roller coaster ride? Well, it really depends on what the BOC decides to do with interest rates. But according to an article recently posted on stories.com, CIBC analysts expect the Bank of Canada to cut interest rates by 1.25% in 2024. with the first drop of 0.25% happening in June. This may act as reassurance to most buyers looking to buy a home or investment in Q1, which will in turn result in a very busy start to the spring market. And there you have it, Toronto's market update for the first month of 2024. And remember, if you're thinking of moving to or leaving Toronto, reach out to us anytime. Every day we get calls from people just like you planning their Toronto move. Whether you're moving in 3 days or in 3 months, we got you covered. Our team is dedicated to providing tailored solutions that match your needs and timeline to help make your move easy and stress-free. Thanks for watching, subscribing, and liking this video. And don't forget to tap that bell. And remember, if you're planning a move, feel free to give us a call, send us a text, or drop us an email. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.